we talk about what are the problems within CVs generally that can turn off employers, obvious things like too much information. So if you can't get your CV onto 2 pages or 1 page if you're junior, you're probably saying too much repetition. So when you read the content of the CV, you're kind of repeating the same skills and experience. I think some things to be aware of when you're creating a CV is making it relevant to the role. You've got to think about the person that's reviewing your CV and convey your experience and skills quickly and succinctly enough for them to be able to absorb what you could do for their organisation. Bear in mind that a hiring manager is probably going to review 30 to 50 CVs for a role. And if your CV is too long, has spelling mistakes, is not clear that you pertain the right, or you have the right experience to be able to take on the role, they might immediately move away from your profile and put you in the maybe or the no. So tailoring your CV and really checking for things like spelling mistakes, formatting errors, these are really basic things that are a massive turn-off to hiring managers. But then putting the right CV in front of the right person, you're going to maximise your chance of getting an interview. I often read CVs that will say like a variation of I'm team playing, go-getting, problem solving with great attention to detail. And I've just spent 3 minutes really not learning anything about the person at all and just reading a bunch of words. And so I think the idea of a personal statement on a CV is a little dated, and it should be something that could be replaced with either a personal mission that's genuine about what I'm looking to achieve in my career, what I'd be looking for within the company I'm applying to, and remove some of those more like conflated, like expansive words about how wonderful and great you might be. I think when you're creating a CV, you need to write with some authenticity and be clear about your experience and skills. I think the older view is what can I say to this employer in the interview and through my document that's going to get me the job. And so I'll be using these expressions like team player and great time management. And really, whilst they're kind of relevant, it doesn't tell you very much about the individual. So the idea of being clearer in your CV about where your skills lie, what you're good at, and being more authentic, I think has a greater attraction for employers. And will separate you from those other profiles that have used more generic and obvious soft skill expressions that everybody seems to have on their CVs. So whether you should include basic PC skills on your CV, I think it's a given that most people now have those skills. And again, it comes down to putting content on there that is relevant and interesting. And if 20% of your content is about skills that everybody is accepted to be able to have, you know, using Microsoft Word or being able to use email packages, these are givens, and if you're including that as a kind of a hard skill, that's probably irrelevant. Obviously, if you've got more advanced skills with software packages, maybe in Excel you can create like complex code to be able to do like sums, and absolutely you would mention those, but you wouldn't put down I can use Microsoft Excel, because I think it would be a given that anybody that's worked in an office or been to school probably would have those skills and experience already.